Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to another edition of NXT Out 10. Now I think it's fair to say NXT had quite a good debut on a Tuesday night last week. After a bit of a sticky patch, maybe you could say, towards the end of their spell on Wednesday night. So hopefully this is like a new start for them after WrestleMania, after TakeOver Stand and Deliver. So let's get straight into it. Kyle O'Reilly kicked off the show and said it felt so good to beat Adam Cole, and said that he was done with him. It was time to move on, but what was next? Kyle O'Reilly hinted that he wants to go for Karrion Kross before he was interrupted by Cameron Grimes, who congratulated him. Grimes and O'Reilly then kind of got in a bit of an argument for a bit, and he revealed he was clear to fight, now having a fight in the main event. GM met Zoe early on, before it was announced that Zoe Stark would be her opponent, before LA Knight attacked Dexter Lumis, and we got that match next. LA Knight was obviously in control early on and used his ringside area to his advantage before Lumis eventually recovered and got in control. Unfortunately, Lumis was too infuriated with indie wrestling, and he was dropped by Knight with a headlock diver to get the win. I'll give this a 6 out of 10. It's okay, just kind of don't get this distraction stuff. But anyway, after the match, Indy Hartwell was about to share a kiss before it got interrupted. Io Shirai was backstage with Frankie Monet. Yeah, they didn't last long, they didn't get along. But anyway, next up we did get Breezango versus Grizzled Young Veterans. They were both being British for some reason. Well, I know GYV are British, but Breezango a bit strange. But anyway, GYV, you could say, were pretty dominant here. Breezango did get a bit of offense in, but GYV eventually won with a ticket to Mayhem. 7 out of 10, enjoyed this. Next up, there was a backstage interview with the Gargano household. They were all getting panicky about what Indy Hartwell was doing before Cameron Grimes cut an interview and said he was furious about what happened with Kyle O'Reilly before we did get Sarah versus Zoe Stark. Yeah, she was basically dominant here. Stark brought the newcomer down, however, early on. But eventually Sarah got in control, and a spinning heel kick and a forearm was all she wrote. 7 out of 10, she looks like a monster. But anyway, next up, the Cruiserweight title was on the line between Kushida and Oni Lorcan. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say Tony Storm beat down Saraya. I'm well up for that match. But anyway, yeah, we did get that match. Oni Lorcan took the fight to Kushida early on. During the break, Lorcan hit a couple of stiff strikes before the champ went back to his injured arm, and after a series of kicks and a hogboard lock, got the win. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was an okay match. After the match, Santos Escobar jumped him, and basically that was the end of the segment before we got Indy Hartwell backstage with Candice LeRae. They were still being a bit funny with each other, but they wanted to win the NXT Women's Tag Team title, so she just got shot. Before we got Everrise versus Imperium. Imperium hit their tan baseball kick and got in control. Drake Maverick ran in and there was distractions. However, Imperium still did get a fairly easy win. I'll give it 5 out of 10. This wasn't great, to be honest. But anyway, in our main event, it was Kyle O'Reilly v Cameron Grimes. Before the match took place, Kyle O'Reilly had a little stare down with Karrion Kross, before Kyle O'Reilly used his mat power to progress early on, before Grimes eventually got in top and amped up pressure on the back and neck. Grimes escaped another submission on hold before spinning O'Reilly out. Another combination and brainbuster set O'Reilly out for the flying kick before O'Reilly defeated Grimes to put the NXT champion on notice. 7 out of 10. This was a class match. Overall this week, NXT gets a 6.5 out of 10. For me, I really enjoyed the show this week. I thought it was a decent show. Yeah, just some bits that weren't quite as good as the others, but on the whole, I really did enjoy it, and NXT definitely seems to be picking up ever since they moved nights. But anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to our channel on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.